Hello, and welcome back to day 2 of the 3-part audio series designed to help bring your light back. This is Restore Your Light Activation, and I'm so glad that you're here for day 2. Yesterday, you reconnected with your frequency finder. We talked about the difference between dissonance and resonance. And your frequency finder, just as a reminder, is your inner guide for sensing energy clearly. Today, we're diving into one of the most important skills for empaths, which is creating safety by owning your own energy and your own light. Many empaths know what it feels like to have their energy pulled in every direction. It feels vulnerable, it feels boundaryless, it feels undefined. You might recognize some of this, feeling drained after interactions, even when you try to protect yourself with sage or visualizing a golden egg around you. You go to the store and then you come home and you're just feeling totally wiped and exhausted. It can also show up as worrying that if you fully show up as yourself, you'll be misunderstood, overwhelmed, or taken advantage of. And another way this can appear is by constantly needing to explain or justify your feelings or boundaries to others. All right? When your energy isn't clearly claimed or defined, it can feel chaotic and unsafe. You might find yourself constantly reacting, trying to manage how others perceive you, and doubting your own experience. But there's a different way, and I truly believe that as a collective, we are all waking up to this. And if you've been paying attention, you've probably been hearing this being spoken about in many different ways, because this message is like a signal that's waking up in so many people right now. Empathy and intuition is a part of our feminine energy. And for so long, under the patriarchal system, we've assumed that we need to be claimed by that masculine energy. But all along, we've had it wrong. And there's even been studies that have been revealed recently that in fertilization, it's the egg that chooses the sperm. It's the feminine that chooses and claims the masculine. And so when you're working with energy and empathy and intuition, which, like I said, it's a feminine energy, it's about claiming, it's about choosing, it's about owning it. It's not about waiting for the safety to come. It's not about waiting for the masculine to provide that safety for you. It's about choosing and claiming your energy. And then the safety in the systems, which is the masculine, is built around that because it gravitates naturally. Okay? When you own your energy clearly and confidently, you create a natural sense of safety, not by shutting down or building walls, but by being steady in your presence. When your energy feels undefined or open or without boundary, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and uncertain. You might experience things like feeling pulled toward others' emotions and struggles, leaving you exhausted and drained at the end of a conversation. You might also experience doubting your boundaries because they feel invisible or aren't respected. You might notice yourself explaining yourself repeatedly, trying to get others to understand where you stand. And you might also experience feeling unseen or unsafe, being your full self because you fear judgment or rejection. And this constant drain comes from trying to manage energy that isn't fully yours or isn't clearly marked as your own. You aren't doing anything wrong. This is a natural struggle for empaths who haven't yet learned how to claim their energy and their light fully. Now, imagine what it would be like to carry your energy with clear intention and confidence. When you claim your energy fully, you create a steady presence that others instinctively respect. You don't have to over-explain your boundaries or convince anyone to listen. Your energy communicates your limits clearly. So this doesn't mean building walls or shutting down. It means being present in your truth, steady and grounded. So right now I want you to ask yourself, where in my life do I feel my energy is scattered or undefined? And what would it feel like to hold my energy with confidence and clarity? How would my body respond if I fully owned my light without apology? Now take some time with these questions, maybe write them down. You can rewind, write these questions down, maybe journal on them, and notice what comes up. Owning your energy and your light is the foundation of true boundaries. Boundaries that feel safe for you and create respect in your relationships. Now, here are some ways that this shows up in everyday life. It looks like pausing before responding to emails, messages, requests, or checking in with how you really feel. And saying no or not right now without needing to justify or explain. It's like that old quote that says, no is a complete sentence. Another way is by recognizing when you're about to overextend and choosing to honor your limits instead. So rather than overgiving or overcompensating for other people, leaning back and knowing where your boundaries lie. This also looks like trusting your body's signals as a guide for when to engage and when to step back. So if you joined this activation because you identified that you've been dimming your light, or maybe you feel disconnected from your light and your joy and even your energy, if you've noticed that in yourself and you thought, I want to change, I want to see if this can help me and make a difference, this is where you bring this into your real life and you start to look at what caused me to get here? What caused me to be in this state of dimming my light and feeling disconnected from my own source of energy and even just my own truth and who I am? Really getting to the core of what are the actions behind that, and taking the time to listen to these activations and putting these things into practice is how you start to make that change and reclaim your light and start to feel more like your true and authentic self again. Okay? So your practice for today, I want you to write down 3 statements that reflect how you want to hold your energy and your light clearly in the world. Okay, so some examples are, I hold my energy and my light as sacred. Or, my boundaries are worthy of respect without explanation. Or, I am safe to be fully myself in every space I enter. As you write, feel into these statements as if you're planting seeds of safety and clarity inside yourself. You don't need to become someone else or build walls to protect your energy. You only need to own your energy and your light fully and clearly with kindness and confidence, both for yourself and for others. When you do this, your presence naturally creates safety for you and those around you. Tomorrow, we'll step into how to lead with your light and how to show up fully without burning out or shrinking. You're doing amazing work, and I will see you again tomorrow.